Welcome everybody. My name is Hector Rivas. Today I'm going to teach you how to do vector shading. So let's get started. Let's start out by opening up Illustrator. This was our last lesson. I'm going to create a new document. It's 8.5 by 11. And let's open up some character art. So I'm going to go here to my drive and let's work with who should we work with? Let's work with character art. And for this demonstration, let's work with, I don't know, Monsters Inc. Let's open a few of these and see which one we want to work with. Okay, so that's Mike. Maybe. Let's see what the next one is. This is Boo and Sully. Oh, I like that one. So that's a good possibility. Copy. Let's work with this one, where they're interacting. Two poses are interacting. Yeah, let's go ahead and work with this one. Okay, so first of all, this particular pose, I believe is in grayscale. So let me try coloring it first. I'll color it blue. You see how it, although I colored it blue, I selected the color blue here, it went into grayscale. So if it's in grayscale like this, I have to turn it into RGB. So the way to do that is you go up to Window and you bring up Color. And if I bring up Color, you're going to see that it's defaulting to grayscale. So I'm going to right click here. Not right click. I'm going to go up to this top menu right here on the upper right hand corner. And I'm going to go to RGB. And all of a sudden it turns into the right color. So I'm going to use the eyedropper tool to color him. I know Mike is not this color. I know he's green, but it makes it easier if I color hit blue first, because it'll accept that he's RGB, and then green. So I'll do that. Okay, so I'll focus on these colors for now. And you know these spots that Sully has, let's go ahead and color also. Actually, I should do this first. Color it blue, and then I'm going to go a little darker. Using the eyedropper tool and holding Option at the same time. Okay, so vector shading. I think in order for you to shade your characters, you have to understand a little bit of light logic. Where are you putting your light source? So I'm going to put this light source, I'm going to pretend they're outside and it's a sunny day. So the sun is actually hitting it like on the top part of the face. And so this is lit up. And then the parts that are outside of it, they'll go into the darker area. So that's the first thing that you do before shading a character, is understanding light logic. Where are the shadows? Where are the highlights? In this lesson, it's about the shading component of it. So I'm going to select this shape here, which is part of Sully's body. And I'm going to add some shadows to it. The way to do that, the easiest way to do that, is to use this tool here. If you go to the eraser tool, this tool hides underneath it, which is the knife tool. So I click and hold here to reveal the knife tool. So I'm going to go ahead and select the knife tool and watch what I can do here. I'll select it and then I will cut. But before I cut, let me teach you exactly how this tool works. So if I take a circle here on the side and I use the knife tool, look what I'm going to do. I'm going to cut, but I don't start right at the edge. I start on the outside of the shape and then I cut straight through all the way to the other side. I don't stop right before the shape ends. I go from one end all the way to the other side. Think of it as like a samurai sword and you're slicing completely through the whole shape. So I'm going to start here and I'm going to cut all the way across like that. And by you doing that, later with the white arrow tool, you can select the top part or the bottom part. If you select the top part, you can do that and you can move it. Now I'm going to select the top part again, and so now you can go ahead and color it. Like let's say I want that a little darker. If I want this subdivided into a different section, I use the knife tool again and I'll cut straight through. And then I'll color that a little darker. And I can grab this bottom shape. Again, it only cut the shape that you selected. So I'm going to go ahead and cut here. Select that bottom piece and maybe I'll go darker there to create that. So this is the technique that we're going to use, the tool that we're going to use to create shading on this character. So I'm going to select this shape and I'm going to use this tool, the knife tool, and I'm going to cut like this. So this is on the light, so this is probably going to be in the shadows. I'm going to go here, I'm going to cut here, and do that. Now you can see that the top part has been cut. And I'm going to go to this and go a little darker like that. And use the eyedropper tool to color this shape and that shape. And you see, it created the illusion that this part is now shaded. And I can continue here. Let's say on the arm, I'm going to go here, select this shape, and use the X-Acto knife here, this knife tool again. And on this one, and let's say I want to cut here, and then I'm going to cut across, like this. Use the eyedropper tool again. Created shading there. I'm going to cut here. See the character slowly, by doing this, it starts to look dimensional. And go to the bottom of the foot now, select the shape that, select this shape here, the foot shape. And I'm going to use the X-Acto knife to cut here cut around. And I'll select the same color. Slowly, one step at a time, one shape at a time that you cut, you make it look dimensional. I'm going to use these spots and I'm going to make them a little lighter just to have contrast here. And you can see what I'm doing. But even these spots that I have, they're going to need to be cut in order to keep it consistent. And maybe go a little darker so you can see that whole leg right there is in the shade. And I'll do the same thing for shapes like these or this shape here. And I'll do the same thing for Sully. I'm sorry, for Mike. I'll go in here and select, with the white arrow tool, I'm selecting this shape here, which is his body shape. And I can go in here and I can cut wherever it's meeting Sully here, so it looks a little darker green, so it looks like they're interacting. See, it's starting to feel dimensional. Okay, that concludes this lesson on how to start creating shading.